good afternoon and welcome to the People's Voice on VOP Television, where we amplify the stories that shape the nation. If we shape the nation, of course, it's going to be a better place for every one of us, you and I. My name is Adefunke Jayesimi, and today on People's Voice, we are navigating the complex landscape of Nigerian politics and security. The murmurs of 2027 are growing louder, with whispers of a potential new running mate for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But one key figure, Deputy Senate President Jibrin Barau, is putting governance first, dismissing speculations and emphasizing loyalty to the president. Meanwhile, the president himself is drawing criticism for his remarks on opposition leaders, likening them to political IDPs without direction or ideologies. Well, the narrative of governance and leadership takes a darker turn when we look at the security situation in states like Imo and Sokoto. A recent bomb explosion in Imo's Awo Idemili market left 2 dead and several others injured, casting doubt on the state's claim to being the most peaceful in the southeast. I think we had this conversation on this show last week, Thursday, where the governor, despite the cries of the people, claimed that Imo State is about the peaceful state in the southeast. But in Sokoto, the Lakarowa bandits have wreaked havoc on villages, killing at least 6 farmers and leaving 1 critically injured. This incident actually raised pressing questions about the effectiveness of our security apparatus and the impact on our communities and how it affects the livelihood of the people. As we grapple with these challenges, the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, is also gearing up for the 2027 general elections, with 110 associations seeking registrations as political parties. This development brings both opportunities and challenges as the Commission balances the need for inclusivity with the imperative of maintaining electoral integrity. Well, you need to stay on top of the conversation today as we dissect these stories, exploring the implications for Nigeria's future and, of course, the voices that shape it. But that's not all. In a shocking turn of events, 24 members of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly have defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, leaving only 2 lawmakers remaining with the PDP. VOP TV's correspondent Matthew Oguswada was on the street of Lagos capturing the reactions of Nigerians as they weigh in on this major political shakeup. Let's take a listen.
A political shakeup has hit the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly as 24 out of 26 lawmakers have defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. The announcement was made during plenary by the Speaker of the House, Udeme Otong, who confirmed receipt of formal defection letters from the members. The lawmakers cited internal crisis within the PDP's national leadership as their reason for leaving, invoking Section 109, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution, which permits defections in cases of party division. Only 2 lawmakers, Sunday Johnny of Ona and Udwa Kobong Ekpo Ufot of Etinan, have remained within the PDP. Despite the mass defection, the Speaker urged all members to stay focused on their legislative responsibilities and service to their constituents, regardless of party affiliations. As Voice of the People TV, we are on the street to hear what Nigerians have to say about this latest wave of political realignment in Akwa Ibom State.
It does not matter which political party is defecting or not. We are all Nigerians. The thing that is there is that the government are making their choices. As an individual, you make your choices too. So your choices directly affect you, in as much a political party affects you too. But as individual, you are a party of yourself. You should make your decision that will generally impact yourself and impact the whole nation and impact a party that you say you are supporting. So as for me, we all make decisions that impact the whole nation as a whole. So we better make that positive decision.
Everybody should hold on their party, and if anybody jumps from one party or other, it should not allow anybody to change their parties for making a nation to be a great nation. To create youth to be leader of tomorrow, as I said, youth are leader of tomorrow, so they should create youth that will be a leader of tomorrow, so that this country will move forward in life.
It's their own
profession which they are carrying out. So you can politicians different to pastor, abi, politicians different to engineer. Everybody have their own profession. They are defending their profession. In as they are see it as a profession, they don't see it as a way of serving the nation. That's why they have to defect. They will be defect to where they are going to get their own political destiny approved. Are you getting what I'm saying? So if not, so that is what they are doing. So in this case, our own is to pray for the nations that both political leadership, economic leadership, religious leadership, we are praying for them, everybody to know the truth, and the truth should set this nation free.
Nigerian politician cross-carpeting, right? But then, you see, there is no better political party. Many of them are finding a level playing field. Many of them are just go there because they want to hide themselves. Somebody that was at APC and he now go to a PDP, probably he wanted to go there and seek for a position. Are you getting my point? If you look at what is happening in the political system, you will find out that PDP is more corrupt than even APC in power. I'm telling you the gospel truth. That is why you see, if government should be effective, they have to check people who eat Nigerian money.
As we've heard from citizens, while some see the mass defection as a strategic political move, others feel that it could distract the lawmakers from their core responsibilities. However, many Nigerians are calling for justice, administration, and effective implementation of policies, regardless of political affiliations. Matthew Ogunsuada, reporting for Voice of the People TV.
All right, thank you very much, Matthew Ogunsuada. And there you have it, Voice of the People on the streets, getting reactions, live reactions as to what the people feel about the top stories in the news. But to our viewers, thank you so much for staying with us on People's Voice. In the latest development, the Independent National Electoral Commission has announced that it will conduct by-elections across affected constituencies on Saturday, 16th of August 2025. The elections have been organized to fill vacant seats in the national and state assemblies, which have risen due to resignations, death, or court annulments. The Inec chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakub, disclosed this during the consultative meeting with political parties in Abuja earlier today, Thursday, 26 June 2025. We'll bring more details on that later. But still on the Inec, the Independent National Electoral Commission yesterday, June 25, 2025, has said it has received letters of intent from 110 associations seeking registrations as political parties. It, however, flagged clashing names and irregularities in the registration request. We have that image where we see names of political parties and the clashes are quite obvious. They mentioned the irregularities in the registration request by most of these associations. This list of 110 parties also include proposed names, acronyms, addresses, and names of their pro tem chairmen and secretaries. And this was published on INEC's website and social media platform yesterday. One of the proposed parties, the All Democratic Alliance, is reportedly supported by a coalition of prominent political figures, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, and former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi. But in another story, another group believed to be backed by supporters of former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi submitted, that's the Obidient, submitted the registration requesting for a similar name. This has also raised concerns about potential acronym duplication. But INEC has noted that some of the proposed associations used identical acronyms, which violates the Commission's guidelines. Additionally, there are 40 applications were missing a pro tem national secretary, 5 associations lacked a pro tem national chairman, and 7 were missing both chairman and national secretary. I really do not know what these parties or groups are about registering or seeking to register for a party without indicating your pro tem national chairman or secretary. But it also says that 4 submissions did not include an official address of the party's headquarters or office, while one application was submitted without a party logo. I mean, these are the things that may even cause a major setback for those who genuinely need this and are ready for this. But the chairman of Inec has said that the commission had acknowledged all but 6 of the letters received, adding that the handbook containing the 2022 regulations and guidelines for political parties was available on the commission's website, and it's advised that people go through it so they understand what the requirements are. He also announced that the commission was ready to conduct outstanding by-elections and resume national continuous voter registration. So this is us telling every Nigerian, yeah, we understand how it has been so far, with a lot of people saying that we know what to do in 2027, but trust me, you can't do much in 2027 or anytime without your voter registration card. So go out there once that portal is open, go out there and get registered. And if you need to transfer your card from one location to another, please do so, just so you can be a part of that process that determines who leads us. The meeting also covered current electoral activities. The INEC chairman noted that primaries for the area council elections in the FCT were ongoing and scheduled to conclude by June 30, 2025. And talk about Anambra State. The upcoming Anambra State governorship election set for November 8, 2025 was another major focus during that meeting, and it's been said that the campaign began on June 11 already, and this will be on until midnight on November 6, 2025. So whatever party you're supporting, whatever candidate you believe in Anambra State, do well to make sure you campaign for them, and let's see how that pans out. But yeah, that's where we are right now with the political stories and issues that are making it at the cover pages of the national dailies at this time and top in the news at the moment. But there's so much to talk about. Yes, as always, it's never a one-man show on People's Voice. And now I'm being joined by VOP in-house senior analyst, Dr. Peter Anosike. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a delight to have you. And side joke behind the scene, the doctor is more conscious of his thoughts on the show. But doctor, you can't be too conscious because Nigerians really want to hear some things and the energy has to just match what we're anticipating. So let's get straight into the conversation. Doctor, INEC has announced that they've announced the by-elections across affected constituencies in Nigeria, and I mean, people are anticipating, but how do you think this will impact the current political landscape in Nigeria?
For me, by-elections shouldn't go beyond the 90 days,
Okay.
according to the Constitution, because this by-elections create a vacuum. The constituency that the people come from will have nobody speaking for them, nobody representing them until an election is conducted. So it is a very, and going by the familiar and conversant with the 2010 electoral rule, and they said that every by-election should not go beyond 90 days. But for now, you see it taking 1 year, 2 years, which is not
Right.
good at all. So they should make sure that the guidelines are properly followed. Understand? It shouldn't be going beyond the stipulated time.
So
Because
for
when that is not happening, nobody is representing the particular people or the
Exactly.
particular constituency.
all right, I totally get what you're saying. So it's important that INEC follow through with what the Constitution states.
Sure,
It's
sure,
supposed
sure.
to be
Yes.
within a 90 days window. And
Within 90 days.
90
Within
days,
90
that's
days.
3 months maximum.
months, sure, sure.
Okay, that's one thing that we hope that INEC works on. But let's talk about this new party registration request, Dr. 110 new party registration requests. Do you even believe that this will lead to a more diverse and representative political environment, looking at the mistakes already in their style of registration and the information they are even putting out?
I'm aware that in 2022, about 70 political parties were the registered,
Yeah.
and I was fully in support of it, because a political party is not for fun. Understand me? It is so. The aim of every political party is to win elections.
Election.
But you can see that you can have a political party for 10 years has not produced a councillor. For what? So for me, I see this 100 as something that's as a joke. We have about we have about 19 political parties as we speak.
Yes.
But only 5 have representatives.
Yeah. Across different political
That's
offices.
Shun. We even call of LP and PDP, APC, and NPP, understand? Just 5. So the other 14, what are they there for? Understand? And you see people using their residential houses as addresses.
Which shouldn't be in the first place.
That shows that they are not serious.
So for this 110, Doctor, we've seen parties even, I mean, you are applying, so you're seeking registration, you don't have any address in the letter you've written. Some don't even have any potent chairman or secretary of the party. So does it look like a joke to you?
That's why I say it shouldn't be fun. It shouldn't be fun. And if you say that they should not be registered, they begin to talk about a lot of things. But there are guidelines for registering political parties.
Right.
Those that meet the guidelines should be registered.
So don't you think this is like a way of distracting or making the Inec spend more time on?
It is distraction for me, because we already have over 20 that are inactive as we speak.
Right.
And you are bringing 100 more. If they are already active, that registered ones, these people why don't they go into it? Should every family have a political party?
Exactly. That's a major
Because
concern.
That's where they are going to. Should every family have a political party, an political party, a genuine political party? Shouldn't be.
So you are suggesting that it's better for the already existing parties
Let
to
them
absorb
into it. Understand? Let all these 100 and something people now enter inside those existing political parties that are inactive and make it active.
And don't you think that this is a major concern and might not work because of the ideology of the personalities involved, their thoughts, and when it comes to leadership, the part also when it comes to decision making in the party?
No, everybody wants to answer a presidential candidate, 1, national chairman of a party, 2. Understand me? Then some want to build their CV, former gubernatorial aspirant. Understand me? Former senatorial aspirant, because in this you say that anybody can just walk in there and pick form.
Right.
Everybody can just walk in there that's a pick form, because you will even see them begging people come and take forms, because there's no structure, there's no address. So for me, INEC should be serious about it. There should be proper scrutiny.
And anyone that doesn't meet up with that standard should be thrown out.
Sure.
Let's talk about, well, I mean, I won't say controversial, but I mean, it's been in the news for some time now, the All Democratic Alliance, which is reportedly backed by prominent figures like Atiku Abubakar and Nasir El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State, and also the former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, among other political prominent people. I mean, it's been said that they've submitted a registration request already. We've seen El-Rufai initially in like a political relationship with SDP. We've seen Atiku Abubakar still talking about coalition, but has not made any public declaration as to leaving the People's Democratic Party. And on the part of Rotimi Amechi, there is no part of his, anger outburst where he has come out to say that I'm no longer a member of the All Progressives Congress. And I can go on and on, talk about people that are coming together for this coalition. What implication do you think this might have on the political scene? Is it that these people are potentially trying to sabotage that coalition, or they don't want to lose on both ends?
What is happening in Kaduna right now is what is happening in Rivers State. What do I mean? Because in Rivers State, Wike, who is of the PDP, is now in the good book of the presidency. Why Rotimi Amechi, who is of the APC, is out of the good book. Kaduna, Shehu Sani, who is of the PDP, is in the good book that's of the presidency. Why Rufai, who was of the APC, is out of the good book. So Nigerians complain when it is not favoring them. They'll begin to make noise when the system is not favoring them. So, Amechi, who is one of the founding fathers of APC,
yeah.
One of the financiers of APC, the Director General
DG
of
campaign
of Buhari 2015
campaign.
and 2019, regretted that he wasn't made the presidential candidate in 2023. So that is his anger. Understand me? So that's why I said that what is happening in Rivers State is what is happening in Kaduna. So El-Rufai also has his own anger, and both of them has shifted from APC, and they're now coming a kind of a revenge.
So the coalition is more like a revenge group?
You don't form a coalition that with a good heart. You form a coalition that we want to take over.
But it might be with a mission to actually help the people. It doesn't necessarily have to be a revenge.
No. The Amechi is on a revenge. El-Rufai is on a revenge.
Okay, so their anger will just make the party work better.
No, it will not make them work better. That's what is happening in Rivers is what is happening there. That's in Kaduna.
All right, a lot happening across states, from southwest to southeast to the north, and it's just becoming a norm in our political space where we see one person supporting one person at this time, and once some of the deals they had is not going the way of one of the parties, we begin to see things like this. But considering the people's sentiment towards the current administration, that's the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government, do you think that new party registrations will attract significant support to back on sitting Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027?
In order to remove a sitting an incumbent, the only way is for parties that come together. It happened in Senegal, it happened in Mauritania, Mauritius, South Africa.
Even in Nigeria, it happened.
Even in Nigeria in 2015.
Right.
So that is there's no single party that will be able to do it. So that is what is happening. But it depends on if they'll be able to put their interest behind and push the interest of the country forward.
Exactly, because I like that you mentioned some of the places that this had happened, and it's good that it has at one point happened in our nation, Nigeria too. But the truth is, critics are saying that the seriousness in the coalition at the time, prior to the 2015 election, was visibly backed by the anger of the people, sponsored by a lot of propaganda, which of course was in the face of the people, in the media. Everywhere you turn to, there's something to despise about the administration at the time. And all of the people who came together were not people who had shown interest of winning the ticket by a do-or-die affair. Comparing that 2014 coalition to the possibility of a 2026 coalition, how do you think this might work out?
For me, the only way to win an election is to make other people angry. That's the secret.
I'm talking about the coalition now. When the people are angry, what options are they left with?
When the people are the more angry, the more they want a change.
Okay.
So, but they have to go through and to go through an umbrella, which is a political party.
Right.
This is where the coalition now comes.
Right.
We are representing you. Who will need you to change the incumbent?
I'm talking about the flag bearer now. The interest.
The issue is this. One, forming a political party, forming that's a coalition, it's not a piece of cake. It doesn't come easy because it has a lot of interest. One of the reasons why it's not easy not to form a coalition is who will be on the presidential candidates. That's the number one. Who is going to be the presidential candidate? Because the purpose of any political party is to win an election. Understand?
Right.
So when 20 parties come together, you have 20 presidential candidates.
Right.
So who is going to step down for the order?
Exactly. That's where the conversation is tilting towards because...
So that's always number one. Who is going to step down for the order? So if they cross that bridge, understand me, then there's this issue of betrayal too. Traitors and betrayal. That's the second reason why political the coalition doesn't work. Because as coalition is forming, betrayers are entering.
Which is normal.
Which is politics. Understand me? That to go and cause a problem there, to go and be given information to where that they come from.
Yeah.
Understand me? That's the second reason why coalition is difficult that to form. Then number three is what I call when bridges have been burnt. When bridges have been burnt, and instance, Aerofy and P2B, when you read what Aerofy said about P2B in 2023, you now be wondering how can they work together. Understand me? So there are reasons why coalition not easily work. But if they would, if they can be matured enough and remove their selfish interest, then it is very, very possible.
All right, thank you for that submission. But you know, in a recent interview, we saw Akim Baba Ahmed talk about this coalition and saying that it would be better for most of the persons involved in this coalition to even be behind the scene and support younger of other candidates. And he says he sees it as a major challenge because mentioning the names of the people involved and what their political ambition has been over the years is going to be a very tough decision to take. But let me ask you again, do you believe that the current political development in Nigeria will lead to a meaningful change, or do you just see us as going through the motions?
For me, what Baba Ahmed is saying, that cannot work in this country. We cannot get a president, even by 2031, we cannot get a president that will be below 60 years.
I don't think it's necessarily about the age now. He highlighted...
He's talking about...
the persons involved, their interest, their interest and the public perception about these people.
So, anybody above the 55 in politics now, his name is already out there.
Okay.
Understand me? So his name is already out there. If you want to bring that's what Jonathan called a breath of fresh air.
Right.
It has to be somebody.
Jonah, my friend.
It has to be younger. But will the person have the financial muscle to do it?
That's why he said that these men should be like the backbone of the party if they can put their ambition aside and work together to support a candidate for the common goal of the Nigerian masses.
That's a theory.
I like that. That's theory.
Practice.
Okay. Okay. So for you, it's about...
We should go beyond the textbook that are faced on the streets.
But don't you see us going just through the motions with this? Don't you see us in another circle?
We are running around in circles in politics in this country. And it will continue for a very, very long time.
I said that because when the coalition happened,
yes,
Atiku Abubakar was a part of that merger.
2015.
Yes, 2015. Then we saw the new PDP and the old PDP, all of the dramas that happened. Yes, he didn't get the ticket at the All Progressives Congress, which Buhari got, and yeah, he stayed put in the party. The elections happened. Buhari became president before whatever made him return back to the People's Democratic Party. Going back to the People's Democratic Party still enjoyed the benevolence of the people to a large extent, actually, because that birthed the Atiku Obi ticket, which a lot of people believed in, looking at him being, Waziri of Adamawa, and of course, a Southeastern vice presidential candidate. That was a very, very strong ticket for the People's Democratic Party, but unfortunately, that ticket did not birth a president. In 2023, prior to that election, whatever happened within the parties, talk about zoning within the People's Democratic Party, gave the APC another upper hand. And we saw how the House became divided against itself, the G5 governors and all of that. Atiku decided to run on the PDP's platform, and Peter Obi, on the wave of the Obidient, actually ran under the Labour Party. And we saw what the result was like. Analysts have always said that if those two results was supposed to be together at that time, possibly we won't have a Tinubu presidency now. So prior to 2027 election now, how are we going to go out of this cycle? It's not enough to do the same thing and expect different results. Because when we are done with this conversation, we are going to talk about the registration of an Obedient movement party. So how do you think that this cycle that will continue to, Nigeria is not supposed to be a circus. So how do we move forward?
Well, for me, there's all those things. It's not taking us anywhere. Understand me? So just if a coalition is formed, this ADA is registered now with a route that's Amechi, L5, P2B, David Mark, Atiku Abubakar. There's nobody there that can be bold enough to say Atiku step down.
And don't you see that as a red flag already?
Nobody can. No, naturally, understand me. Naturally, nobody can tell Atiku step down, because in politics, there's what is known as the right of first refusal, which is given to the highest political office holder in a political party. In 2028, Democrats in America, understand me, and Kamala Harris, nobody can tell her that to step down, because she is going to be the highest political office holder in the party, having been a VP.
Yes, vice president.
So the only thing that everybody will go for prior, understand?
But she can also decide to step down for the good of the party.
She want to go through that because she's ambitious.
Talk about Atiku Abubakar now. He also can decide to say that I'm not running again. And if he doesn't say he's not running again, he's been running for the longest now. Do you see Atiku as a meaningful alternative for Nigerians?
I cannot decide when I have not tested. We have not tested Atiku. Understand me? We have not tested Atiku. So you cannot say that Atiku is bad when he has not been
and there's no part of my question that has judged him good or bad. I'm only saying that is he...
You say, can I see him?
Yes, do you see him? Because if you say that this coalition coming together, nobody can tell him to step down, which
because he is the highest political office holder.
Exactly. And the idea...
He is, again, older than all of them.
The idea of the coalition is to unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027.
Yes.
That was what birthed my question. Do you see Atiku Abubakar as a liable alternative for Nigerian people in 2027?
I would say yes, because he had not been tested. Atiku won the governor of Adamawa State in 1999, understand me? But Obasanjo said, come and be my VP.
Of course, we know this story.
So he has not, nobody has seen him as a governor or as a what?
But we've seen him as a vice president who is...
And the economy did well when he was the VP.
We've seen him as a vice president, and he has a history in our political landscape. But let's go on a break now, Doctor.
The economy was when he was the VP.
Okay, so the coalition, Atiku Abubakar. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Obidient movement's move to register its own party and the possibility of pitching Peter Obi against the flag bearer of the proposed coalition contesting alongside the current President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us on People's Voice. It's an interesting conversation. I mean, whatever has to do with elections definitely should be of importance to every Nigerian because these are decisions that shape our lives and our collective future, whatever you choose to say. But yes, in the new development, the Obidient movement is indeed making moves to register its own party, the Obedient People's Party, OPP. I don't know how that sounds, but sounds, funky. With the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, and here's what is happening presently. OPP registration. The OPP has submitted a letter of intent to Inec seeking registration as a political party. The party's potent national chairman is listed as Barry Avotu Johnson. There's also duplicate applications. Well, interestingly, there's another application from a group called the Progressive Obedience Party. That's POP. So there is the OPP and now the POP, which also references the Obidient movement. And this has raised questions about potential duplication or fragmentation within the movement. The Obidient movement, known for its grassroots support and advocacy for good governance and accountability, might be exploring new paths due to tension within the Labour Party. And yes, it's important for them to choose the movement's direction. But the national coordinator, Yunusa Tanko, has hinted at the movement's readiness to face challenges and potentially chart its own course. But what's the position of INEC in all of this? INEC has acknowledged receipt of the OPP's application and is currently processing it according to law and guidelines. And the Commission has emphasized fairness and transparency in its treatment of all applications, regardless of the promoter's status. So, talk about all the 110 applications that have been submitted to INEC. INEC has promised to ensure fairness and transparency in the treatment of all applications. And it's worth noting that the Obidient movement's decision to seek party registration could significantly impact Nigeria's political landscape in 2027. However, the outcome depends on various factors, including INEC's approval and the movement's ability to mobilize support. Yes, let's continue our conversation. I still have with me in the studio Dr. Peter Anosike discussing politics in Nigeria and the potential, the possibilities of having opposition or strong opposition or a stronger opposition ahead of 2027 election. So, Doctor, let me come to you again. We've seen the OPP registration, that's the Obedient People's Party, and also another faction who are pursuing to register the Progressive Obedient People, that's POP, all indicating that they are loyalists of Peter Obi, and of course the movement that we all know. But what are the potential advantages and disadvantages of this movement's decision to pursue party registration instead of forming coalitions?
For me, whenever I talk, that I say my mind, I don't care how any other person feels. OPP or POP does not make any sense to me.
Is it the name that does not make sense or the idea?
It has no advantage. All it has is disadvantages.
Is it the idea of creating the party or?
The idea of POP registering a political party, it's not good at all. You don't build a party based on an individual. Nelson Mandela ran in ANC, African National Congress.
Yeah.
Understand me?
True.
Why did they say Mandela a political party? Because he was the person that was imprisoned for so many years. True. So he has a lot of sympathy. Understand me?
Right.
But what of when he is not there?
What happens?
Understand me? So you cannot build a national party that with a person. What if that person is not there anymore?
Okay, so is your concern just about building a political party around just one person, or the intent of even creating the party is wrong for the political scene right now?
Everything to be signify political maturity. That is what it signifies. Political maturity. Now, an instance, if you enter with OPP, understand me, Obidient People's Party, and you enter there, then how can you again move?
So move from where? I mean, if he is supposed to be the flag bearer of the definitely is going to be the flag bearer of the party. He doesn't have any reason to move because the idea is to win election.
No. At this time, he win, understand me, and this time, so rule for 8 years, what happens?
He's going to have a successor. He's going to sponsor or support.
Obedience.
It's okay. So it's Obidient. It's a movement for his sake, but they've talked about wanting a better Nigeria, and I mean, they might just write Inec to change the name again. But
so to me, if P2B is really interested in changing this country, he should enter a coalition. He cannot do it all alone.
There's a confusing and surprising submission by a particular class of analysts who have said that coming together to form or to create a party or register this Obidient party is not good for our democracy at this time. And they are suggesting that if this happens, that means it's some way going to weaken the coalition. And is it possible that Peter Obi is indirectly working to favor Tinubu's re-election?
I have said it on a different program that if P2B refuses to be part of the alliance, he wants to help Tinubu to win.
But in 2023, he left PDP to contest under Labour Party and moved his followership and support to the Labour Party. Yes. Was he not in any way trying to help Tinubu win at the time? Was an article weaker in 2023?
That's in 2023?
Yes.
Article was strong, Tinubu was strong. Understand me? The P2B was also strong. Assuming that P2B and Article has run, and P2B got a 6.1 votes. Article got 6.9 votes. That is 13 million votes. Tinubu has 8
right.
something. So if P2B run again as an individual in 2027, what happened in 2023 will still happen.
That's what I'm saying. If you are saying that if he does that now, he's helping Tinubu win. Are you now also suggesting that he actually helped Tinubu win the election in 2023?
No, it was just a weekend that helped Tinubu to win by saying that the PDP zoning system should be thrown open.
But they had opportunity of coming together. As a matter of fact,
yes,
Peter Obi attended events that had prior to Atiku Abubakar's declaration saying that he is his elder brother. So it shows that there was a cordial relationship between both parties. So what difference is going to happen now in 2026? Because if he decides to run under a different party outside the coalition, he's not doing anything different from what he did in 2023.
Because there's a lot of change from 2023 to 2027. People are now politically aware. Half of the people that voted in 2023 will not vote in 2027.
Okay.
Understand me?
Your words, but let's talk about this Obidient movement now. How might this existence of multiple factions within the same movement impact their chances of winning in 2027?
Well, the issues, I've not even seen the Inec registering more than 5% that's of this.
110.
Because you must meet the guidelines, understand me?
Right.
Any political party, for you to be registered, you must have presence in two-thirds of the 36 states, which is 24 states. You must have presence in 24 states. And INEC will go and see those secretariats.
Okay.
You cannot just stay in your house, right? Oshobo. No. Oh, no. INEC will go physically
To inspect.
to inspect those addresses.
Okay.
Now, so it's not easy to register a political party.
But does this not suggest a crack within the party? I mean, is this party that has not even started nurturing the part of what political parties in Nigeria are known for? If it's just a movement and they're already having factional heads going to request registration.
Well, it depends on if P2B is aware that of the progressive obedience. I understand me. It depends if P2B is aware. People can come up with any name.
It might be a surprise to him. I mean, the other day they were planning a fundraising for him before they stopped that. So it might just be another one.
So for me, a better name would even be Disobedient People's Party.
Doctor, please.
No, Disobedient People's Party, those who are not happy with the way that the country is going.
Okay, disobedient people.
Yes.
All right,
it's really a better thing.
All right, so let me take this last one. How might this movement strategy affect the broader opposition landscape in Nigeria?
It will weaken it.
Okay. So you do not believe or you don't think this should even come out of the forces?
I'm not in support of it. I'm not in support of it.
If you get to meet Peter Obi right now,
what
would you say to him?
Run with the article in 2027.
As vice president?
As vice president.
And where would Rotimi Amechi be?
P2B, anytime, any day, will gather more votes than Amechi. P2B can win votes in South-South. Amechi cannot win votes in South.
Peter Obi can decide to support the party, encouraging his followers to support the party for the common goal of the Nigerian citizens.
And with Amechi?
Of course, having an Atiku and Amechi. Does he have to be on the ballot?
Igbos would vote for the party because of Amechi.
Oh, so Peter Obi needs to be on the ballot for Igbos to vote.
Sure.
All right. That's an interesting one. Well, not a surprising dimension, but I just wanted to get that from you. But that's the much we can take on the show today. Thank you so much, Doctor, for being a part of the conversation.
Yeah, thank you for...
All right, so our viewers, it's a wrap. It's clear that Nigeria's political landscape is complex and multifaceted. And trust me, the upcoming by-elections, new party registrations, and ongoing security challenges will undoubtedly shape the country's future. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and join us for more thought-provoking conversations on VOP TV. My name is Adefunke Jayesime, and I strongly believe in this project, Nigeria. Nigeria will be great again. Good afternoon.